know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
Hey there, Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns. Just want to comment and say BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for football, baseball, boxing, golf, and much more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. This is a trade deadline special. And of course, most Chief fans already know we did not make any moves. To some, that may shock you, but if you've been covering and watching the Chiefs for as long as most of us have, you know that it's really not much of a shock or surprise there because we don't really make these trade deadline moves, at least, especially in the Brett Veach era. That doesn't really happen. Last year, we had the Cadarius Toney trade. That was kind of a rarity as far as doing any kind of trade before the deadline. But yeah, JD, there were some moves made around the league, but the Chiefs were not ones to make a splash. Niners did. And a lot of people thought things were going to start to get going once the Niners made the trade for Chase Young. People thought the Redskins or Commanders were going to blow up. And some people said, ooh, maybe Scary Terry can come to Kansas City, but did not happen. So they traded Chase Young and they traded Montez Sweat. The only other receiver that went today was Donovan Peoples-Jones from the Browns to the Lions for a 2025 6th-round pick. That would have been a decent guy. Another get there. 6th-round pick didn't really give much to him. But, JD, we're talking about impactful guys that Chiefs fans wanted. And not all the names of Mike Evanses of the world, the DeAndre Hopkinses of the world, none of those guys went. None of those guys went today. Are you surprised that we didn't make a move today?
Am I surprised that we did make a move?
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And so I just want to say, O ye of little faith, okay? O ye of little faith. And as to some of the naysayers or who doesn't believe that we got enough to keep dealing to go and win the Super Bowl, obviously the Chiefs didn't think that, we didn't have enough confidence in these guys. We have enough confidence in guys, rather. They thought that we have enough in the room. We have enough on the team to get things done. And to be honest with you, I agree with them. I agree with them. And so I don't have any problem with who they keeping on the Chiefs. Them not going to get a guy. And the reality is, it's halfway through the season. We've seen some progress in Rashid Rice. We've seen some progress in also too getting Cadarius Toney back. See some progress for the last couple of weeks in MVS catching some footballs. Obviously, he fumbled in one last week. And so I think that because Justin Watson came back, it helps out as well. So we got guys in the room. We got guys who can catch the football. Everybody's question is, is this wide receiver core good enough to win the Super Bowl? And so I'll say this, and I heard my man talk about it earlier today, and this is kind of the point I made as well, is part of the problem has been, PM15, maybe getting the ball better. And Patrick has said so himself about doing some things, getting back to his old self. And so sometimes it's just learning what you have, and you adjust to it. And I think with the guys that we have in the room, and we have been making steady growth, maybe not as fast as some of us want. That's the reality of it. Not as fast as how much all of us want to get to that place. They are growing. And McCole Hardman coming back we need to get him worked into the offense a little bit more, what he used to do, what he used before he had left here, right? And that's another thing. So he adds another weapon. And I think Brent Veach and Andy and those guys believe that they have enough. They do believe that they have enough. And so I agree with them. I agree with them. A lot of people just don't know it. Like when you're on a team, you want to make sure that you exude confidence in the guys that you have, okay? And sometimes not having the confidence in those guys is saying, we're going to go get another dude in here, okay? Y'all ain't getting the job done. We're going to get somebody else. He's the answer to all be all. And I just don't agree. I don't agree with that. We're talking about having and I thought about this actually is here we are. Everybody keeps talking about we don't have a number one wide receiver. Well, we actually do. And his name is Travis Kelce. And so if we start looking at the production between number one wide receivers and everybody else in the NFL, Travis Kelce is our number one wide receiver. And everybody else is the number 2 or 3. That's the way, to me, I'm like, that's how we got to look at it, right? Your leading receiver for the Chiefs is going to be Travis Kelce. It's your tight end. A lot of teams don't have a tight end who's catching 8 or 10 balls a game. They don't have that. We're getting 100 and something yards a game. We do. We got that guy. And so we can look at the wide receiver core, but PM15 and Travis Kelce is in a whole different atmosphere. They are. They're in a whole different world and universe on doing things. They're the best in the business. And so as long as we have that working, I think we're going to be fine. We just need the addition of everybody else around them making plays. Rashee Rice has been doing it, okay? We need to get Cadarius Toney, get him going a little bit more. We need to get, like I said, McCole Hardman invested a little bit more in what we're doing as well. And so Justin Watson has been catching footballs. So I know everybody's kind of down, MVS and Sky Moore and all these other guys, but we got enough pieces to get it done. We do. I trust PM15 to get the thing done. I trust Travis Kelce to get the thing done. I trust all the guys around him to get the job done too. And that's the thing about it. You got to have the confidence, like Andy and those guys have it in the building. So I have no problem with us not making a trade. I know he's bringing guys' names up. I heard a lot of different things. I heard some on my feed, as friends, we were kind of talking about different names. But some of the names we were just talking about are just guys, just another guy, okay? They're not going to come in here and be the world beaters. If we was going to get a world beater, like I said, somebody who would be a number one, guess what? It's going to cost us a lot of money, a lot of draft capital. That's what's going to end up happening. And I think they didn't want to do that. Strategically, it hasn't worked for us. And so they know they want to keep their core guys here to get these things done. And I told you, you can't just go pluck anybody off the street or from another team and have him fit into what we do offensively, because it might drastically change exactly what we're trying to do when we go ahead and get on teams. Now, it was easy to kind of get to that point and warrant that because we didn't have a great outing this past week, right? This is our worst game that we possibly played. Actually, to be honest with you, that probably should have been our first loss of the season. Okay, probably shouldn't have because everybody had the flu. First game, we without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. And so we're thinking about it. Our team is all right. We're fine. We're fine where we're at. And everybody in that building, especially Andy and those guys in the room, the 53-man roster, they all believe that, okay? And I have no problem with that whatsoever because that's what you have to do is you got to make sure you have confidence in your guys, that you're going into battles with the same dudes week in and week out, and you got to make sure that you have their back. Now, the wide receiver core knows Andy has their back right now. And that's important.
I think a lot of this, and I'm seeing some comments there. M. Hepler25 made a comment about how these are the same guys that wanted Hopkins now arguing we don't need anyone. And I still think, JD, even though you're saying you're fine with the group, you would have loved to have DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, we made that pretty clear in the offseason, but as of right now, that's offseason. But getting a guy in the middle of the season, which you made the point before, getting a guy in the middle of the season, then you have to kind of acclimate them to what we're doing there. And everyone knows, we've heard all the things about Andy Reid's system, how hard it is to kind of really grasp, and especially when you're thrusted into the offense in the middle of the season. But I think one of the things that and people talk about the receiver room and getting a guy like Darnell Mooney, yeah, that's great. It's another guy, but like that's not what everyone's talking about. People are talking about like a Travis Kelce succession plan kind of thing. 8 Mike Evans, 8 DeAndre Hopkins. Darnell Mooney's not going to be that. Yeah, it's another guy to have in there, but he's got to learn the offense. It's just another dude. I mean, it's not really what everyone was asking for. Yeah, it would have been great just to have another weapon in the room. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think instead of trading for a Darnell Mooney, you can maybe go get a Jarvis Landry off the street right now. You don't have to trade anything for him. You can bring him in and just add him to the room, but I don't think it's really making much of a dent. I think we're set with the room we have. I think Albert Breer said that the Chiefs were going to stand pat and reported that earlier today that was going to happen, and it happened. But like, I think moving forward, I think we see what we have with this room the rest of the season, see how it plays out, see what Sky Moore does. I mean, I think the MVS thing, a lot of people are just kind of struck by the MVS thing because he's getting paid around $10 million this year, like wide receiver one numbers, as far as contract numbers, but he's producing more like a wide receiver four. And I think a lot of the kind of resentment from the fan base is the fact that we could have had, if you talk about what DeAndre Hopkins is making next year, I think $15 million next year. You add what we have right now, that we have like $4 million, and then you add what the MVS is making this year. That's about what DeAndre Hopkins is going to make next year. So you think about that kind of thing, like that's where the fan kind of resentment comes in. And I get it. And that's something we're going to have to tackle in the offseason. You know, if Sky Moore doesn't really turn this around, if MVS continues on the way he's been going this year, then I think, we're going to have kind of some conversations about the receiver room. And I think that's more of a next year problem. But right now, I mean. Yeah,
because here's the thing. The thing is, if everything plays out and we keep getting better, the guys keep getting better, then we can lean on the guys. I think, offensively, I think part of the problem was maybe some of the play calling. Obviously, we got to keep getting Pacheco involved in the game, keep getting McKinney involved in the game. Some of the things that we do well. And we got away from that the last game. We just did. We kept a hungry team around, and they beat us, okay? They got a little bit ahead of us. But, look, our defense is playing at a high level, okay? We know that they're capable of keeping the offenses back when they need to, all right? We just need to play a lot better. Patrick was saying it, the little things, it's going to count. But, yeah, definitely, we're talking the offseason, MVS, that's later on down the road. We got to think about things that's going on right now. And so sometimes it is about the guys that's in the building. It is about that. So these guys have been learning. They've been learning how to get open. They've been learning, getting the toolage from, Travis Kelce, from Patrick Mahomes. They've been doing the work, the due diligence to get these guys on the same page. And we've seen a little bit of that. We have seen some success. I'm looking at it right now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're fourth in offense in the NFL. So we're screaming and hollering, pulling our hair out like everything's over. Like we can't win. I'm wondering, like, who are y'all guys? Who are these people, these fans, supposed fans, that's not having any loyalty in your team, right? At some point, you just got to be able to ride with your guys that you got, okay? Bottom line, okay? They may not be the world beaters that you want them to be, but maybe they're world beaters that we need right now. Put it that way, okay? And so we got to put our confidence and get behind these guys. Let's put our energy behind the dudes that we got in the room, pure and simple, okay? We'll talk about Mooney, and we can talk about those guys. Those guys in the building. They don't have Chiefs uniforms on, okay? We can speculate all the time. We talked about, like you said, the whole DeAndre Hopkins talking about him and bringing him in. Yeah, that would have been a great thing because he would have helped, get the young guys together, all right? Didn't happen, okay? Well, you say hindsight is 2020. We understand that. But this is looking forward. Right now, it's about going forward, okay? Going forward with the guys. We got athletic guys in the room. We got playmakers in the room. We got speed in the room, okay? We just got to keep putting them in positions to make plays. What defenses have done, and Patrick said the same thing, is we're sitting over here during that entire time is they game planned about what we did. So you dropped 7, okay? We got to be able to make adjustments on the fly, not just Patrick, but also the coaches when we see that. When we see now they're dropping everybody in coverage, now we need to hand the ball off, okay? So it's a chess game. We got to be better at chess than they do. And so that's how it is going forward. It has to be that going forward. Now, this trip going out here to London, all right, I'm sorry, in Germany. Yeah, Germany,
Europe, yeah, on the other side of the pond.
Right. Yeah. But going out there, we're going to see what they're going to do next week. We're going to see what's happening this week. I believe they're going to beat the Dolphins. They will. The Dolphins, look, they have a good team. We understand that. But we know they got a guy that we know really well in Tyreek Hill, okay? You don't think Spags and them not going to have a game plan for that? He definitely will. And so I see some people talking about, oh, man, you don't think we're going to beat the Dolphins and stuff? Look, if you're that guy, okay, you're that guy. You don't believe we're going to beat the Dolphins, anybody else, and you're, the sky is falling and you can't stand it and you can't. Hey, man, just hop off now. Just hop off now, okay? But make sure you don't jump on that train when they start beating all these teams and get to the Super Bowl. You ain't allowed to get back on it. You can, but everybody's going to know you for who you are, right? So I just go ahead.
My question is, and obviously we spent a second round pick on Sky Moore. It's his sophomore season, and obviously he hasn't really, he hasn't really flashed, right? But there was a guy who was a first round pick a couple of years ago who we traded for last year, and obviously he had the meniscus, the partial meniscus tear, and he had the surgery this offseason or during preseason, and we really haven't seen a lot of Cadarius Toney, and I'm like, at what point, like, what do you think it is? The fact that we haven't really seen him that much, he's not getting the ball that much. And obviously, week one, that's a weird thing. Week one, we trotted him out there and gave him all these targets, and he had a little drops in that week one game. But since then, it seems that we've kind of taken a break from Cadarius Toney. Yeah, he's gotten a couple catches here and there, but like, I feel like we're not. And he's a playmaker. And I've seen people say we have no playmakers at all. Cadarius Toney is a playmaker.
Absolutely.
We're just not really finding ways to get him the ball, and that's kind of surprising to me. Why aren't we using him?
Right. Well, the thing is, and it's the same thing. You're trying to get him worked into the offense of what he's trying to do, right? And he's one of your best playmakers on offense. His assets, what he has, you got to use that as your strength. Okay, you got to find ways to do that. And so if you have to get to the point where you're making more concise in far as what your game plan is going to be, then do that. Okay, do that. We all figuring these things out, right? It was almost the same thing people were talking about. Well, Andy didn't want to open up the playbook because he's waiting to play it on half the season. Well, he's got to find out what guys can do. He's got to find out if guys are going to remain healthy. Okay, he's got to find all those different things out. And so I'm sitting over here just looking at the chat. Yeah, look, it is about consistency. The thing is, it's halfway during the season. The thing is, these guys are still going through growing pains. I made this point yesterday. It's the same thing. Everybody was sitting over here slamming on the DBs, the young secondary that we had. Oh, they're not going to be any good. Why Spags putting them out there? And guess what? Got down to the playoffs, and these guys stepped up. So I'm like this. If you get guys like this who may be subpar, if you want to call it that, or maybe not as good, you keep putting them around great guys and greatness, it will become better. And the thing is, this thing, man, is not a sprint. It's a journey. It is a journey, okay? We're talking about this is a long season, all right? We're only halfway through it. We ain't even talking about the playoffs. So my money is on the Chiefs. I got no problem with it. The thing is, hey, they make a decision. Whatever decision they make, I'm going to ride with it. What good is it going to be for me to sit there and disparagingly talk about guys and nothing happens? It ain't going to make it any better. It'll get you more frustrated. But like I said, if you're sitting over saying this, hey, guess what? Hey, everybody going to see you for who you are if you try to jump back on the train, all right? So,
JD, there's one comment in here. There's a lot of good comments. Hepler, I don't think JD's questioning people's loyalty to the team. I think he's more saying, like, as we look at it right now, we are one seed in the AFC right now. And yeah, we do have issues, but and the comment that I want to call out is T Hawes here. And I like this comment. It's not about how good we are now. I have every faith in this team. I'm all in on the process. You can't say it's not concerning and not a glaring problem. It's too late at this point. It's more frustrating that it wasn't dealt with in the offseason. And that is something that we were talking about for a long time, why we needed to go get D-Hop. But again, it's not that cut and dry of a problem because we also have the Chris Jones contract situation. And it was like, and that was pulling teeth too. So it's just, we're playing this tug of war and salary cap gymnastics, and it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I think, yeah, we should have probably paid a D-Hop and got that deal done faster. But then once the OBJ thing happened, then that kind of that scrapped everything they had already discussed with D-Hop. And yeah, and I think this is something we're gonna have to come to deal with this offseason with the MVS deal. I think what he's gonna get, these due $12 million next year. I think we can get out of this contract this coming offseason. I think it's a no-brainer. But that's right now we can't really talk about that. That's a future problem. Yeah, and then if they could have traded MVS in a trade today, they probably would have done that to get a D-Hop. But I just don't think that Tennessee was going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And for the record, I'm going to be exactly clear on this. I am questioning some loyalty. I absolutely am, no doubt about it. And so what I'm saying is this: if you're going to go where the wind blows, and every time something doesn't work your way, okay, and you don't like a guy because of a particular reason, whatever. You think it's, everything is going to, go to hell because they're not going, oh my gosh, they didn't get the guy that we needed to, then what's the deal? Then there is no loyalty. What kind of fan are you, right? Hey, we're talking about a team who's been to the Super Bowl in the past 4 years 3 times. Am I right?
You're right.
How many do we have? How many rings we have in that 4?
2.
2? Are you kidding me? We're talking about a dynasty, and then all of a sudden everybody want to jump ships like rats. You know what I'm saying? When they don't work their way. So yeah, absolutely, I'm questioning some loyalty there. Okay, if you're gonna be a fan, all right? I'm not saying you have to like every decision, because I don't like every decision that they make, right? But what the thing is, as being a fan, as a loyal fan, I'm gonna ride with the decision that the team makes. I'm gonna ride with it. I might not like it, but I'm gonna ride with it, okay? And the thing is, even as a football player, when I played in there, you don't like every decision, you don't like every call that's being made, but guess what? You're gonna ride with it. And the thing is, if I know I got PM15, I know I got Travis Kelce, I know I got Chris Jones, and I got that young secondary, those linebackers and everybody else, that offensive line, okay? And those guys, those studs on the other side, and Andy Reid, the best coach in football right now, I'm gonna ride with him. Okay? Win, lose, or draw, that's what we have to do. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying I like it. There's some guys I wanted to get here, right? We talked about that. We've been talking about that the whole time. But guess what? At a certain point, it's like, okay, fine. This is what we have to deal with. Now let's get behind our guys. Let's do that. Why keep tearing them down when you could be building them up? Okay?
Yeah.
I heard somebody, I'm tired of defending. You don't have to defend nobody. You ain't playing. You got to defend. Okay? You either celebrate it and sit there and say, look, these guys are going to try to get it done or not. All right? 2 Super Bowls in the past 4 years, I've been to 3. And this is the thing that everybody's going through, pulling their hair out. So, yeah. And I know every time people bring this up, and I think it's a valid point. Sometimes when you talk about the past, what the Chiefs was dealing with in the past, and some of the heartaches you had to go through, sometimes you get to appreciate what you have right now. You get to appreciate that. I played during those days. Yeah. Okay. Our closest one, we was 13-3. Probably should have won the Super Bowl that year, but we didn't. We didn't win. But still, this is where the team is right now. Okay. We are measured by success. Okay. We have been successful. All right. These guys think they got it all figured out. So be it. Whatever. These guys, we got enough guys in the room to make these plays. Okay. My thing is, why keep trying to sow discord when you could just go over there and just jump on guys and celebrate them? Okay. How about you give them some confidence? All right. Hey, say, look, I didn't like the decisions they make, man, but look, they got you in the room. I'm riding with you. Okay. Go out there and play better. How about you do that? All right. If you don't want to do it, fine. Hey, look, I'm not saying what you have to do. You can do whatever you want to do. You can have your own loyalty, whatever. You could like the Chiefs, not like the Chiefs. You might not like the things, the decisions they make. I'm going to criticize them. Criticize the play calling all the time. You know, doesn't always work that we want. It doesn't. I tell you what, them suckers are still successful. They still the winning football team right now, right? They're still 3rd or 4th in offense in the entire league. That's what we are. We're not like 10th or half or 20th. We're 4th. We were 3rd before this past week. Come on, man. Let's use reality for what it is. And I know everybody keeps, because they jump on it, because the young wide receivers is an easy target. It's an easy target. But everybody's got a little bit in this. Everybody got a little hand in our offense not doing what we need to be doing, right? Whether it's the play calling or PM15 talking about he needs to get better in some of the things, right? All those things, right? All those things happen, okay? And it's a cumulative effect. And then when you end up losing, it's because of all the things that's happening right here on the cumulative effect. But, hey, man, you know what? I know when it comes Sunday, you see us right here, Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
That's who I'm riding with, man. That's who I'm with. You see us right here, Chiefs Kingdom. That's who I'm with. This is what we rolling with. You see a locker room right there, Chiefs locker room.
Yes, sir.
That's who I'm celebrating. When these guys come out, that's when they come out of the tunnel. That's who I'm rooting for. Okay. Yep. I was in there for 8 years with the Chiefs. Look, I'm Chiefs family, pure and simple. That's the way it works. So
yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's not like you're like one of these homers who's just not critical of the team. We talked about at length the offseason back bringing in a wide receiver 1. We've been talking about that. But at the end of the day, it's week 8 right now. We're going into week 9. It's tough to just bring a guy in the middle of the season and kind of patch up the issues that we have. But
it's not saying it couldn't have been done. It would be tough, Not saying it couldn't be done, right? They talked extensively about this. You know what I mean? As much as we're talking about it, the Chiefs have been talking extensively about bringing a guy in. And they've looked over every scenario. Trust me, they have combed through every little thing you could possibly think about. If the guy's the right fit, is he smart to come in and learn the offense, what we need for him to do? Or you turn around and you look at the guys and you're saying, can we get this thing done with them?
Yeah.
And guess what? They bet on him. Andy, Brett, they bet on him. Heck, the guys in the room bet on themselves. They bet on themselves. Now we're going to find out if they fight us, okay? Now we're going to find out who we got, all right? With a little adversity, So hopefully, the empty wagon ain't making the most noise, all the naysayers and stuff. Like they won't. Chiefs are a joke, man. Come on, man. It's whatever. You're going to have those guys. You're going to be haters and stuff. Fine with that, though. It's all right.
Yeah.
No problem with that. No problem with that.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we're sticking with these guys, and if these guys don't pan out,
hold on. This dude said you call a fan have different view. They're a rat. Call you a rat. That's not what I said. So you're jumping off the ship like a rat, like rats do. When when the water gets a little high, when it gets a little murky, that's what that is. Okay. So let's keep it cordial. Let's understand what we're talking about here. All right.
But I will say this. I mean, we're sticking to the guys that we have in the room, but at the end of the day, like if these guys don't pan out, then we'll have the different conversation in the offseason. Like, okay, like here it is. Like certain guys didn't make the jump, certain guys didn't play up to their, what we thought they were going to do. Certain guys didn't play up to their contract. So these conversations will be had if these guys don't pan out. And right now we're sticking to these guys. We're number one seed in the AFC, and that's so good and dandy. But JD, so we did make one move today, something we thought might have happened. A middle linebacker, a guy that we were big fans of, who filled in nicely last year, and Darius Harris coming back with all the injuries we had from Middle Tennessee. It's a great move. What do you think about bringing Darius Harris back, a guy who already knows the system? We signed him off the Raiders practice squad.
Man, the dude, he made plays for us last year. And it was actually shocking that we let him go, because I thought he was the guy that was going to be here for us. And guess what? He's back. Okay. So he'll add on to it. He knows what the scheme is. He'll be able to make plays. And so that's the thing about it, man. It's always good to get guys back that is going to be able to help us, right? So that's where it is. My thing is, look, at the end of the day, okay, we can be critical. I'm going to be critical. When I give out the grades, everybody don't like the grades I give out. They feel like I'm a hard grader, but I'm going to tell the truth, right? I'm going to tell the truth. These guys need to grow. They need to get better in the wide receiver room. We've challenged them. We've challenged them on this show to get better. Same thing. I said, look, when is the MVS going to show up? When is Sky Moore going to show up? When is everybody else going to show up and start doing some things, right? This is a production business. This is what happens. So when you hear in the league, in the NFL, it's all about production. You got to produce, pure and simple. We ain't taking anything from that. We ain't taking them. We're not giving them any type of quarter for any of those things. We ain't making excuses for them. We still need for them to get better. No doubt about it. So the thing is, wide receiver core, get better. Yeah, Nagy calling plays. If you don't want to do it, get better. Yeah, offensive line, get better. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, get better. Yeah, whoever it is, need to get better. Pure and simple. But the thing is, we ain't saying nothing that they ain't telling themselves. That's the crazy part. They act like these guys are not self-aware of what they may not be doing. These guys want to be number one in the league. That's why Pat, when you see him up there doing the talk after the game, he's pissed. He's not just pissed at what's going on. He's pissed at himself because he knows he can play better. Okay? Somehow, just like everybody comes, that comes in, that is the negative part. All these guys are terrible. These guys know they need to get better, they need to perform. Pure and simple. So we're going to look at production, okay? This is a performance business. That's what that is, okay? We got our number one in Travis Kelce, all right? He may not be your typical guy because our number one's a tight end, okay? Everybody else plays around that scope of things. I'm cool with that, all right? As long as we understand that, man, we're going to be fine. Look, man, like I said, I'm going to criticize them. We could criticize all day. I'm cool with that. No problem. I ain't got no problem with people doing that. But at a certain point, when you going to start criticizing, man, and start like, hey, man, why don't you try to push for them to get, do better? Yeah. Right? Instead of calling you bumps. You know, I think when you start doing that, people may call them a bum, and they like, oh, you're a bum because you don't do something right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I love it though. Hey, look, I love it. I love the comments. Y'all keep it up. You know, y'all keep giving us stuff because we need this. We'll talk. We have a conversation.
Yeah.
Have a conversation.
We love the engagement. We love the comments.
We do. We
today.
love it. All of the negative, everything. We love it. We love y'all. All right.
So yeah, that does it for our special trade deadline reaction show. Unfortunately, we didn't have any trades, or unfortunately, however you want to think about it. But JD and I will be back on Bleacher Report Sunday after the game. But for more Chief concerns, go to our YouTube channel. We're gonna have a preview of the game coming up this weekend. We'll have that coming out Thursday morning for you guys, and then Friday we'll have our betting show for the best prop bets for Sunday's game. But yeah, we hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys next time.
Get up early, man. It's gonna be a good game.
It's gonna be a good game.
Hey,
yeah.
Cheetahs in the house, baby. Guess what? We got something for them.
We do got something for them.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all come back, come watch us. Come check us out. Okay. We love y'all talking, engaging. We'll have conversation about it, whatever. All right. We're gonna be all right. Okay. Hey, Chiefs fans, we're gonna be all right. We will. Believe me.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.